Welcome back, everybody. On tonight's menu, we are making a creamy beef tortellini Alfredo. Let's get to cooking. First to our pan, all right? Pan is nice and hot. I'm going to be using a low percentage, not a low percentage, but a low fat content of ground beef. So with that being said, I'm going to add a small drizzle of oil. It took me a hot minute to get started. As you can see, our pan is nice and hot. Now, here's the thing. If you're going to be using beef with a higher fat content, let's say maybe 20% fat, no need to add the oil. Because once the beef starts to render, you're going to have more than enough oil in the pan. Alrighty. This part should take about 3 to 5 minutes if you're cooking on medium heat. But then again, that depends if you're going to be using a gas stove or an electric stove. As you can see, just like I said, right? Lean cut of beef. So that residue of oil is not even present. All right, so with that being said, let's add some shallots. However, if you want to add your favorite type of diced onions, you definitely can. We're going to cook our shallots until, just like onions, until they become fragrant and translucent. All right, I like these little guys. I love shallots because it has that sweet taste to it, just like the dahlia onions. And not only do they bring complementary flavor, to me, they're not as pungent when it comes down to comparing them to onions. We're gonna add some finely chopped garlic. Get the garlic in there. That's about 3 cloves of garlic. And we're gonna cook our garlic until it becomes fragrant. Let's incorporate our ground beef with the garlic and onions, or in this case, shallots. Give it a good mix. Make sure everything is perfectly combined. At this point in time, if you want to lower your flame, you definitely can. And time for the fun part, right? We are going to start to season our ground beef because it's going to need more than just onions and garlic, okay? We need some seasoning, not just the aromatics. Aromatics are great, but the salt and ground black pepper is going to give it that pizzazz that it needs. Let's add some garlic. This is granulated garlic. However, if you have garlic powder, you could definitely add that. Or if you just want to continue on with the finely chopped garlic, that would work perfectly fine as well. Let's add some smoked paprika for a nice little smoky element of flavor, along with my no sodium Cajun seasoning, because this is a Cajun style creamy beef tortellini Alfredo. All right, and because it has no sodium, I want all of the Cajun flavor. Bring it on. Let's add some of my all-purpose chicken seasoning. Even though it says chicken on the bottle, there's no chicken properties in the seasoning, no chicken ingredients. Give it a good stir. Ooh, it smells good. If you're interested in the seasonings that I just used, as far as the no sodium Cajun seasoning and the all-purpose chicken seasoning, feel free to visit cookingwithtammy.shop and grab yourself the deluxe. That comes with 6 seasonings, which includes chicken and Cajun seasoning as well. Trust me when I tell you, you're not going to be sorry. It's going to be so worth it. Last but not least, let's add about 1/4 teaspoon of beef bouillon to amp up those flavors. All right, we're going to turn our stove off and we're going to get a clean bowl, of course, and we're going to add our ground beef to the bowl, keep it nice and warm, and set it to the side. To make a creamy, delicious Alfredo sauce, we're going to start off with using the same pan that we browned our ground beef in, right? Because we want as many flavors intertwined with our creamy Alfredo sauce as possible. So let's add some butter. Once the butter is melted, we are going to add our heavy cream. You want a nice, rich, luscious, creamy Alfredo sauce. So yes, I would definitely say use the heavy cream. I know a lot of people like half and half, but with the half and half, I feel like you would have to end up adding like a thickening agent, as far as like maybe like not a roux, but a slurry, as far as all-purpose flour and water, or maybe more cheese in order to thicken it up. I went ahead and added whole milk. All right, and we are gonna give it a good stir. And because we added liquid to the pan, of course, it's gonna start to deglaze the bottom of the pan. Gonna allow the milk to continue to warm on up. before introducing any cheese. All right, leave it right there. We're gonna put it on low heat. We don't need to put it on medium, but just put it on low heat. I'm gonna go ahead and add my all-purpose seasoning to give it some extra flavor. Because we are making a Cajun style Alfredo sauce, we're gonna add a small pinch of Cajun seasoning as well, along with our remaining garlic powder. Nothing goes to waste. And let's go ahead and add our cream cheese. The cream cheese is gonna give it a nice creamy element in addition to the heavy cream. All right, that's all whisked in, perfect. Adding the Parmesan cheese is gonna give it a nice nutty flavor, which in my opinion is so comforting to the palate. If you have the powdery Parmesan cheese, you gotta use what you have, obviously. If you want your sauce to be even more delicious, I would suggest that you grab fresh Parmesan and just take your time and grate it in here. All right, we're gonna stir it in just a little bit more because we wanna make sure all of our cheeses break down into the sauce, right? Want a nice, smooth, creamy, decadent sauce. Not a lumpy one, but a smooth one. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the stovetop off, and in the meanwhile, we are gonna work on boiling our tortellinis. Now here's the thing. Tortellini is a type of pasta that cooks really, really quickly. I'm gonna be using tortellini with cheese. However, the brand that I'm gonna be using is only gonna take about 3 to 4 minutes in salted boiling water. So you wanna reference check before you start to cook the tortellini, because if it's soft and mushy, it's gonna be nasty. It's not gonna taste good. Tammy's back with the tortellini and she's ready to rock and roll. We're gonna add our tortellini to our Alfredo sauce. All right, we're gonna fold it on in. This is gorgeous. Check out all of that decadent cream sauce. Woo! Let's not forget about our ground beef. All right, Cajun style ground beef goes in. And we're gonna take our time and fold it on in. Talk about a complement of flavors. I think we could add some more ground beef. What do you think, right? What do you think? Wow, just fold it on in. Take your time, it's not a rush. And then you're ready to eat. I'm ready to eat too. There's a lot of magic happening right now, and I'm ready for it. All right, this is good. Woo! All right, we're gonna get our chopped parsley because of course, you know, we have our creamy Cajun sauce going on. But if you wanna get a nice pop of color, I would suggest you add the finely chopped parsley. I'm gonna stir it on up because I want the parsley to be distributed throughout the tortellini pasta. All right, so with every scoop, you see that nice pop of vibrancy. All right, because we eat with not just our mouths, but we eat with our eyes first. All right, Cooking with Tammy fam, are we ready to indulge? Yes, we are. Creamy and saucy. Now, here's the thing, my loves. I was looking for the red chili flakes behind the scene because the red chili flakes is going to give it that even brighter pop of color. Couldn't locate the red chili flakes. No problem. But just to let you know, you can definitely add that if you want. Wow. This is amazing. I'm tasting all of the Cajun flavors, and not just any ordinary jokey Cajun flavor. We're getting authentic Cajun decadency. Not to mention, of course, the heavy cream and the Parmesan cheese. Everything is like the perfect combination. The tortellinis are stuffed with cheese. This, my loves, is definitely a must try. Absolutely phenomenally delicious. Anyway, my loves, as always, I'm your girl Cooking with Tammy, and I would definitely catch you guys in another video. If you can't find tortellini, you can always swap the tortellini for your favorite pasta. If you want to rock out with, let's say, thin spaghetti, angel hair, vermicelli, or even penne pasta, you could use that as well.